I gotta say, this kayak's handling all this rough wave and busy action out here really well. The water's rough and wavy, and there's a decent amount of wind, and I felt very stable in that going through the channel there. So big points for the new kayak. It's gonna take some getting used to the swivel seat. It actually swivels a tiny bit while I'm pedaling, and at first it threw me off, but now I find it pretty comfortable actually. And the seat's extremely comfortable. And then even before, when I just reached for this rod, I turned around and the seat swiveled me, and I didn't even think about it, and it just made reaching for it a lot easier. Well, good afternoon and welcome back, everybody and or anybody. Christian would make time for fishing here if it's your first time. I'm out on the kayak today for the first time in about a month, and I have a brand new kayak. I already posted a video about it, but this is the Wilderness Systems Recon 120 HD. Brand new, really feels nice already. Much wider than my old one, I think 4 inches wider, which is a significant difference when you already have a very wide, stable kayak. About the same length, different pedal drive system. You can, check this out. Just kick straight up. I don't know if you can see that in the camera right now. And right back down. So by pushing a button, it kicks up to 0 draft, meaning I can just go in really shallow and not worry about running into anything. Very stable platform. I'm really excited. This is my first trip on it ever. But we have a really wavy day, very heavy boat traffic, good amount of wind, but it's the evening, so pretty soon a lot of people are gonna be getting off the water. We're supposed to have a beautiful evening tonight. The wind's supposed to lay down a little bit. It's an outgoing tide. We're mid-tide on the falling tide. So about 3 hours from now, it's gonna be dead low. And I'm gonna be doing a little bit of everything. I have a sheep's head rod with me, I have lure rods with me. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan, is we're kind of just gonna go for everything, try out the new kayak, see how it performs. Like I said, first trip with this ever. I just got it yesterday and set it up last night about 12 hours ago, so I'm excited to get going. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to learn more about the kayak, check out the link in my description. You'll be able to find all the stats and everything. It's brand new, and the main difference with this one, as I said, is the swivel seat. I can turn totally sideways. I mean, I can actually turn 360 around, but I'm not gonna try it with how wavy it is right now, but I felt very stable going sideways like that. Let's get to fishing. Hopefully we can find some fish. I'm excited, it's been a while. So, enjoy the video. Right now the wind and the current are going opposite directions, so it's making it choppy and impossible to hold a specific direction. Unless your goal was to spin in a circle. And what's awesome about this new seat is look at my knees right now. I'm not the shortest guy, I'm not the tallest guy by any means, but my knees are more or less 90 degrees, my legs are straight below me. This is really a comfortable position to sit in. That's gonna pay dividends for really long days in the water, especially once we get into these hotter months. You know, you wanna quit anyway because of how miserably hot it is. So having comfortable seat might be the thing that helps keep you out there for a little bit longer. Yeah, let's keep moving. As you can see, I have a couple of rods laying along the gunnel here. There's a little bit of a cutout so you can keep your rods out of the way while you're fishing, which is gonna be awesome because when I'm sheepshead fishing, I never, on my old kayak, would bring any other rods for lure fishing or anything like that. And since I use such a short 5'11" rod, it's horrible for throwing lures. So if I went out sheepshead fishing, I'd bring the one rod that was only good for sheepshead fishing, and I wouldn't do anything else all day. And sometimes I'd catch a limit really early. Sometimes the sheepshead bite would be terrible, but I would be kind of stuck and blocked into that one game plan. But with so much deck space and rod storage along the sides in a way that's out of the way, I can switch between sheepshead fishing and lure fishing. And when I'm sheepshead fishing, I can put all my other rods down on the sides. Both sides have that storage, and I can keep the rods out of the way so I can still go into docks and into tight cover and not worry about banging my rod tips on things or, you know, anything like that. Relatively minor feature of this kayak that could pay big dividends for fishability and just doing a lot of more fun, cool stuff on the water. Honestly, considering I'm moving against the current, this thing's moving quickly. I'm at 3.3, 3.4, 3.5 pretty easily. I'm pedaling not any harder than I would with my old kayak, and this is definitely has a much bigger draft than my old one, so I'm impressed. And the turning is actually not bad either. I haven't done any modifications to the rudder yet. Let's give it a stand and see how it feels. Oh, wow. It was like standing up in a boat. It is very easy to stand in this, oh my gosh. And the bottom's very solid. There's no bending or bowing in the floor at all. And I don't have any kind of wobbles, even though I'm getting blown around by the wind. And I'm actually holding position pretty well considering strong outgoing and strong wind that's going the opposite direction. Let's switch up my lure here. So this is a 1/8 size head, so it's gonna sink slower, and it's a smaller, more natural and streamlined presentation. And this is also a light action combo, so if I hook something big, I might be in for it. I gotta say, I like these little spikes. My shoes really stick to them on the pedals. Oh yeah, if you didn't see the last video where I set this up, this has little spikes, little pegs on these bicycle pedals. It feels very sticky on my boots. Could be a negative if you're someone who pedals barefoot, but I don't enjoy having burnt feet, so I don't do that. There we go. Little trout. Awesome. First fish on the new boat. It's got to be a trout. Just a little guy, probably 14 inches or so, but got to start somewhere, and I am happy to see him. It's been about an hour since I got out, and that was second bite, first landed fish. Ooh, and there's a bunch of them under me. Well, what I believe are trout. It's all right, maybe we'll get on a little trout bite here if we're lucky. Let's get another cast right on this dock. This is a great bend. There's a rock wall. Decent but not too deep depth. Good current flow. Ooh, on the way up. Another one about the same size. All right, buddy, come here. I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, he's a little smaller, but pretty fish. Always nice to see. Can only go up from there, right? Ooh. Ha! Tiny, tiny speckled trout. That's funny. My transducer is on the back right corner of my kayak, and it looked like they were sitting directly below me, so I just jigged right behind me, and sure enough, little 8-inch trout. So no size yet, but the fish seem to be active, at least the little ones. Any fish on my first day in this kayak I'm going to take as a win, especially with it being as windy and rough at it as it is. Ooh, look at all this muddy water coming off this bend here. Ooh, there's some fish down there. Ooh, that's not a bad trout. A whole lot better than the first couple. Let's get the net out for this one. Oh, nice. That's a pretty solid one. Surprised me. Can you see it in there? we go. Not a great release, but he swam off fine, I'm sure. Right where he should have been. There's a point, outflowing water. They kind of like that dirty line sometimes, where the water mixes. They can ambush food there. And they have great senses. Sight, smell, all the above. Obviously smell didn't help with this thing, but they were ready for it. Ooh, that's a good one, I think. It was a big hit, at least. It's staying down. Pulled a little bit of drag. Ooh, it's a red, that's why. Nice. It's a little puffy drum, but he put up a nice little fight there. First red on the kayak. Cool. All right, let's give it a switch over. We will go for some sheep's head for the remainder of the trip. All right, so I'm losing daylight here. As you can see, the sun is setting just over there right now. Really fun day. It was short, I was probably out here for a little under 4 hours. Just a quick evening trip to break in the new kayak, and I have to say, I'm super happy with it so far. Obviously, we didn't set the world on fire fishing-wise. Some of the conditions were working against us. I was also exploring some new areas, but excuses aside, I had fun, caught a few fish, and slimed up the new boat. So I'm more than happy with how everything went today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video and the little bit of review I gave. This is obviously just an initial review. I'll give further reviews down the road once I have more time to further break it in and hopefully put some really big fish on the deck. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to make some time for fishing, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. It's actually